Well, I just got back from a little tour in Hawaii. We did I think 4 islands and 4 gigs over there. My Beatle band, the Lonely Hearts, Beatles and Beyond is what we call it. And I thought, I've been playing all these different Beatles songs and taking deep dives into them. And I thought I'd show you a little walk down. I'm not going to show you the whole song, but My Guitar Gently Weeps, one of the parts in it. There's lots of cool guitar parts. Clapton's on it with George Harrison. But if you take an A minor chord like this, and then you walk it down, it's kind of pretty, isn't it? And then, so I thought it'd be fun to take that apart today and give you a little bit of a extended lesson. Again, oh, by the way, I just want to let you know I'm not sitting in a sauna and I'm proving it. This is my studio and it's all surrounded by old knotty pines. So a couple of people said, "Hey man, are you in your sauna there?" And I'm like, no. It's just a studio that has, it's just a homey kind of thing. And here comes my cat Luna, so she's gonna wanna, hey, don't be hitting the camera, Luna. No, don't hit the camera. Hey, no. You can meow if you want. You wanna come up here? You wanna be part of it? Okay. All right. I'm afraid we're gonna have Luna be. Come on. No, she's okay. She's not gonna do it. All right. She'll sit and watch over there. So we got this A minor chord, right? And then what I do is I walk down. I put my third finger. I move it to the 3rd fret of the low E string. Sounds like this. And this is optional. Let's see. Yeah, I like hitting the, I move my pinky to the 3rd fret of the B string. I like the sound of that. Check it out. Because it's like, it's like a little walk down, right? And then what I do is I'm essentially going to a D chord by going to the F sharp with my 2nd finger on the low E string, 2nd fret. And I'm picking up the 2nd fret on the G string with my 3rd finger. I know this is a little bit of movement, but once you get it, it's cool. And you can just, the high strings can stay where they're at. And just drop that index finger down 1/2 a step on the low E. Okay, so let me take that in slow motion for you, because this is worth learning, it's cool. You can use it in lots of different ways. Got it? And then, that if you're a Beatle fan. And then it goes like this. To the G chord. And then it just goes to a straight up D to an E. So I like, having had to learn all these Beatles songs. What we do with the band that I'm in, the Lonely Hearts, you can look it up. I take Beatles songs and then I tend to put a spin on it of my own in some way, shape, or form, which is a challenge because, you're walking sacred ground there. People love the Beatles. So I try to keep it within the lane, of being true to the original piece of music and then maybe add something to it that's our own. And I think, honestly, that's what John Lennon would want to do if he was still around, or any of the Beatles, or for that matter. So here we go, one more time, really, really slowly, because I know it's important. And this is not an easy piece to play. So I've spelled out that A minor chord. Now here comes not too tricky, but drop that E string from an open A. Now finger that 3rd fret on the low E. And pick up that 3rd fret on the B string with your pinky. That's a move. Pretty though, isn't it? Now we're going to move to a D, with essentially a D chord with an F sharp in it. See how I went there? I'm fingering the D chord, 2nd fret on the G string, 3rd fret on the B. I'm not worrying about the high E there. Don't worry about it. We don't touch it. But we do finger that 2nd fret on the low E, which is an F sharp note. Great chord, D with an F sharp. Really great sound. Thank you, George. Then just go one down more. Keep your fingers on the high strings exactly the same, and walk this down to an F note, 1st fret on the low E, go back and repeat that A minor and a G, a straight up D chord, nothing fancy, to an E. So now that I've taken it apart in slow motion, I'm going to play it in real time or close to real time and see what it sounds like. Now, where this is really fun is if you're playing with a couple of guitar players, you know, maybe a couple of acoustics, or even an acoustic and electric together. I like jamming over this. So if one person's playing, you know, it doesn't have to be finger picking either. It can be just an easy strum like that. If you're not comfortable finger picking, that's okay. Got another person playing maybe just a simple A minor pentatonic sort of in this blues box. Most of us know that by now. What I would suggest is have one guy playing, or one gal or whoever playing a rhythm. Second guitar can just have some fun riffing over that. Those are great changes to riff over, to play minor blues. And just stagger that, you know. So you're just using these notes over and over in different ways. The obvious thing there is not to make it sound like a scale, but to actually tell a story, and that's down to phrasing. So of course, as we know by now, that's the infamous Eric Clapton part. You know, I've read many stories about how that was done. George had Eric riding around and said, "Hey, why don't you come to Abbey Road and play on a song?" And I read somewhere that Clapton said, "You know what? Nobody plays on Beatles stuff but Beatles," which is not really true at all, because you got Billy Preston and all kinds of cool people playing. Not to mention George Martin with the strings. But and George said, "Nah, I got this red Les Paul. I think he'd be perfect on it." So Eric showed up, and I think he did literally a couple of takes and said, "Well, that's all I got." And the rest is history, man. It's just really, really great. He did it in classic, you know, tongue-in-cheek Clapton style. But I think it's a great story and a great song. So hope you enjoyed that lesson. And again, I think somewhere in my site I do a full lesson on My Guitar Gently Weeps. But for today's lesson, I wanted to, you know, it's not a super long lesson, but how long is it here? Oh, we're into 8 minutes. That's cool. I got my Elvis shirt on. I got this on tour. My Sun Records Elvis Presley shirt. So I thought I'd throw mix a little rockabilly with Elvis in terms of my cowboy thing here. But yeah, so it's great to be back home in Santa Cruz, and I'll be ramping up a bunch of lessons for you, both short and long. And I hope wherever you are, you're playing guitar and having a good day. And I know it's some crazy times we're living through, so I really truly believe music helps get us through all that, and that's why I'm here today. All right, we'll see you down the road.